I never dreamed that I'd know somebody like you.
Beautiful.
And I wanna fall in love.
You're forced to put this one in the video because I decided to do a transition. So everyone, welcome to Ops and Bros. And no, we're not a music show. We're all about beer, and today it's Craft Beer 101.
I get no say in this, do I?
No.
For an open window on the craft beer world, Max and Chris from Ups and welcome to Ups and Bros. Yeah.
I can sleep too.
Stairway to Heaven?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was a good rendition of it.
By Aerosmith.
By Aerosmith, yeah.
Everyone knows
Because
that.
if there's one thing people know about this show is that we have no idea who sings what. What did I say last time?
Exactly.
Bob Dylan for what song?
Benny and the Jets.
Benny and the Jets, yeah, of course. Famous song from Bob Dylan. Benny and the Jets.
We get slapped so hard every single time. Like, you guys are just dumb fucks. Sorry, Dad.
Yeah.
Shazam. That's what's all the show
Shazam?
about today. Yeah, Shazam.
Shazam?
Yeah, you know Shazam. What's that song? You know that app that everyone had before we got all the AR.
I had Soundhound, which would do the same thing.
Yeah, okay, you're weird.
Yeah.
Alright, okay, perfect. So this week on Craft Beer 101, Blond Stouts. We feel a bit blonde
Which
today.
I mean, isn't it an oxymoron? A blonde stout? Like, when you think stout, what do you think? By the way, we've done an episode on stouts in the past. Also porters. So go check out Craft Beer 101 on stouts to know a little more about this awesome, weird British style that got really popular in Russia. So stay tuned.
That's the Russian Imperial Stouts.
It's still stout.
Oh yeah,
see, I was
doing.
I was trying to create some tension, so people go, "Oh, that's interesting, Russian stouts, but in Britain, what's going on?"
Yeah, and
you can find all of that in our show.
I messed it up, right?
Craft Beer 101. Mate, not really.
Right. Okay, cool. I feel better now. All right.
So, blonde stouts. Honestly, not a lot of information on the blonde stouts. I had more info on what you told me than what I actually found. I did find a BBC documentary about the guy. Basically, they put him in a plexiglass cage in the North Pole and had a polar bear attack him. And you can visibly see him going like, holy shit, this is not gonna hold. Like, he's checking the door, he's making sure everything's fine. It's nerve-wracking, it really is, to have a polar bear attack you so close. He's got a camera, you can see the size of this animal. Instead of research, I was doing that.
Yeah.
It was really interesting.
So guys, yes, I'm not talking even to this camera, I'm talking to this one because Max kind of messed up as part of the research, which is fine. Because there's not a lot of history, and Max mostly has a part of history. So, history behind the...
So, I did give you a history, just not the one you wanted.
Not the one you wanted.
But the one you needed.
So, Blond Stouts started around like 2005, 2007, from what we've learned a little bit. So,
it was basically a what's the word?
Started off as
a challenge.
an April Fool.
April Fools.
Yeah.
Between Stone and...
Brewdog out there in Scotland.
So basically, they toyed with the idea of making a stout that was actually not dark.
Exactly.
So it would have the same flavors, but be blonde. Now, naturally, instead of taking this as an April Fool's, they took it as a challenge. And both breweries ended up doing a blonde stout, golden stout, white stout, whatever you want to call it, as long as it's not black.
After.
Yeah.
So kind of a crazy mix of just making it happen. And those two breweries, Stone and Brewdog, are known for being kind of like the punks of the beer world. Like, they're big guys, they got big, but also they don't really care about what the other people says. And you can't really see how they drove their businesses that way. Stone are really good brewers with cocoa.
Ooh.
I've seen...
Which...
No,
I've got nothing.
Yeah, we had an episode.
I thought you meant coconut. I was going to say, I hate coconut. I love cocoa. So...
We hate coconut. But just all that to say that those guys, they know how to brew with special ingredients. So coffee, cocoa, it's something that they know really well. So making a blonde stout wasn't quite a super hard challenge because they already had a good knowledge of those ingredients.
Well, see, that's the thing. I disagree with you because the term blonde stout just doesn't make any sense, right? A stout is usually dark, usually on the black, usually a little more roasty. You use roasty malts in there to get those colors. Now, how can you call this what we're drinking, a stout? It's not a stout.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a stout. It's not a stout.
Why is a milkshake IPA still an IPA then?
Because it's got hops, right? It's hoppy.
You get hops in there too. Let's not get involved in that debate. Why is it a stout or not? But it's something that kind of like grew over the different years because it makes something different. And for people that ate darker beers, but still kind of like the flavors out of them.
Well, it's a big slap in the face. It's like, oh yeah, okay, so you don't like dark beers, eh? Do you like this guy? Oh, it's got nice coffee flavors. I like that. It's creamy. Okay, it's a fucking stout there, bud. Sorry, Dad. So, I mean, it's interesting because most people, I find anyways, taste with their eyes.
Yeah.
So they see the color of a beer and they go, oh, that's what I'm going to get. And it's going to be the flavors. And this is not at all what you expect when you drink this beer.
So how do you end up with a white blonde stout? So basically the brewing process is not that complicated. The only challenge you have is not brewing with those dark malts. So you need to replace the roastiness, the chocolate aromas, the coffee, the sweetness of the darker malts with something else. And those are adjuncts. So we're talking about coffee. So they started using cold brew extract in there. But also,
I guess that gets a lot of roastiness, right? In the coffee?
A lot of roastiness, yeah. You get all the coffee, but also they were all mostly added at the end of the fermentation process. So dry hopping with the coffee to remove that bitterness.
So dry beaning?
Dry beaning, yeah.
Coffee bean?
Because
which is not actually a bean. It's actually more of a nut, right? Not a nut, but a seed?
Yeah. No,
but I mean, like, it comes from a fruit. There's a fruit around this.
It comes. Yeah. Let's not get it. We already have an episode on coffee. So.
Oh wow! Oh, plugging. We're plugging this episode.
This is a plug episode.
Go see all the other Gravity 101s. There's information everywhere.
Don't start this one without seeing the other ones.
Yeah. So pause. Go see. Come back.
Yeah. At the same time. But also, cocoa nibs also a big part, and vanilla sometimes. All those aromas, blending in this beer, added some oats to create that nice mouthfeel. And this one we're drinking right now from Shelton Brewery out there in Montreal added some lactose to it to create a nice round mouthfeel to it. Because yes, you can remove all those darker malts, but you don't get the proteins that create that nice mouthfeel in the beer because they're not in the cereal because you're not using them. So overall, it's quite simple making. Yeah, that's one thing. But you already drank it. We need to do blind taste next time about it, I guess. How do you feel about that? Blind tasting it.
We really should taste some blonde stouts. I find, and I know this is not a review, but the Tom Green from Bose had more of a stout feel. This guy, a little less. I'm not going to lie, a little less. Mostly because I don't find the same roastiness. Although I do like the vanilla flavor.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that it has that sweetness to it. And yes, if I didn't look at the color, I would probably say that it was a little darker. Just because of the creaminess I would go like, it's different. There's something there.
But for me, it's missing the roastiness out of the coffee.
But that's the thing
is, a bit more.
For me, I'm not the biggest fan of roastiness in beer. Like I like stouts, but I like the sweet stouts. So I like when the sweetness of the malts or of the lactose overpowers the rest of the flavors. So blonde stouts in general, on paper, should be my favorite. But I've not had one that I liked as much as this one. This one, up to now,
really nice.
I think it's because of the vanilla. I think that's the
the
vanilla and the lactose, I believe, is why I like this so much. But anyway, so this is not a review, so I'm not going to comment on this more.
No worries with that. So really simple. It's basically a stout brewed without the darker malts with added adjuncts. So coffee, cocoa nibs, and also a little bit of lactose, oats, or vanilla in the beer to create that nice mouthfeel creaminess out of the beer.
And if you fear bears as much as I do, because you know that bears eat people, especially polar bears, because polar bears, they don't eat any vegetables or anything. It's all meat because they're in the north where they eat mostly seals, and they will eat us when they see us, okay? We're on the menu. We're on the menu, okay? All that to say, watch the video. It's nerve-wracking, it's interesting, it's better than Black Mirror, and if you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments below which animal you fear the most.
And head down to Patreon, don't spill your beer, and buy us a beer instead on the Patreon. We gave the information every time, the link is down below, so cheers to you guys. Don't forget to ring the bell up there, down there,
oh man,
everywhere.
It's like a bell.
I know, that's why I did. If you click
like a
it,
bell.
it does the same sound. I guarantee you. And maybe you hear Max singing one of those fancy songs.
It was Wicked Game by Chris Isaac. It's one of my favorite songs. A lot of covers, a lot of great covers out there.
Cheers, Chris.
And we'll see you in the next video.
You're not filming anymore.
No, okay, so let's stick with this one. See ya. Where's this? I'm not that drunk.
You look so drunk.